Hi everyone. So if you are struggling in how to delete or remove data from your local storage and how you can display them with live changes. So I'm giving you an example, like let's say this is my normal HTML element, which have a div just to display the products and it's in the grid format. So I'm taking an example that I'm taking an array and I'm taking that array from the local storage. So let me show you my local storage. So currently my local storage is empty. You can see. So if my local storage is empty, then I'm assigning a blank array to it. So now this thing you usually do. So what you can do is you can enclose this thing in a function. And after that, you can call this function and you can pass whatever data you want to pass here. So this is just an argument. Let's say this will be my data, which is an array of object, or it can take anything. Now what I'm doing is I'm mapping over it and using map function. We can take element and index also. So I'm just creating a div and a p, and p have an element like whatever the data it has. So currently I have no p. So what I can do is I'm taking some, so I'm just taking some data over here, some dummy data, because my local storage is empty. So that's why these data comes. So I'm taking this is my p tag, this red box is my div, and this is my remove button. So in my remove button, I'm adding add event listener, and I'm adding an anonymous function so that I can pass some value to it. So in this function, I'm passing this index. And after that, I'm appending this p and remove button in this div, and then I'm appending this div into the main div, which is in the, uh, which is here. So now the remove element, yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm just calling this function here so that it can display the details here. So let's say if I comment out this, then no data will be displayed because I just declared this function, but I'm not calling this function anywhere. So after declaring that function, you need to call this function also. So after calling this, you can see that my data is displayed here. Now, here is my remove element function. It will take index from this data. So whenever I click remove on any of the button, it will take that particular index and that index I'm using here. So I'm using splice operation here. So splice is an inbuilt function which can remove element from the array. We just need to pass that index value here, and here is the delete count. So so this index value will be taken from the above function. So whichever button I'll click, this will take that particular index, and delete count is 1. So it will remove that particular element from the array. So this will splice will do the live changes in the array. So after doing this operation, my array will be updated and that particular element will be removed from it. Now I need to add this updated array into my local storage. So what I'm doing is I'm passing this with the same key. You need to use the same key. The data which I have used here, I'm using the same key here. So now I'm passing that particular data into my local storage, and then I'm calling the same function, the function which I called here. I'm calling this same function again in the remove button. And right now I'm passing this array here. And now this array is updated after splice, after removing that particular element. Now I'm passing that array into this function. So that means this function, whenever I click on remove, this function will sorry for that. So this function will again call, and we are passing the new data into it. So this array is the new data which I passed. So this data is in, like, we are passing this array as an argument here. So this updated data will be based on that. So if I click on remove, let's say if I click on remove on second, so now you can see that this is, so the key is created, and inside this key, you can see that 2 is removed from here. But if you see, the old data is also displayed. This is my old data. And when I call this function again, so this is my new data which is appending, but the previous data is also present. So I need to remove that data. So what I can do is at the starting of this function in the beginning, I am just calling that display div, and I'm doing inner HTML is equals to null, or I can give blank string to it, or I can do null. So what it will do is it will remove whatever data which is present previously. It will remove that thing, and then it will append the new data by using this. So now if I click on 3 and I'm not refreshing my page, this is done without refreshing. So you can see that this is my refresh button. So without refreshing the data, I'm passing the correct data also in the local storage. So if I click on remove on 3, so without refreshing my page, I'm able to remove that particular element. And now the element is also removed from my local storage also. So I'm doing the live changes in my local storage as well as in the app without refreshing the page. So if I click on remove on this 5, so that 5 is removed from this, and this is my local storage. So even if I refresh it, so I still have this particular data. So in this way, you can remove elements.